Yes, indeed. My sister Martha and I have been talking all week about your sermon last Sunday. Reverend Harper, in only 2 short years, you've taken on the spirit of Brooklyn.
That's very gratifying, Miss Brewster.
You see, living here all our lives, we've seen so many ministers come and go, and the spirit of Brooklyn is friendliness, and your sermons are not so much sermons as friendly talks.
I've always enjoyed my talks with Cardinal Gibbons, or have I met him yet?
No, not yet, dear. Oh, won't you have another biscuit?
No thanks, Aunt Abby.
Reverend Harper.
Oh no, I'm afraid I'll have no appetite for dinner now. I always eat too many of your biscuits just in case that lovely.
But you haven't tried the quince. We always put a little apple in it to take the tartness out.
No, thank you.
Oh, we'll send you over a jar.
No, you keep it here so I can be sure of having your biscuits with it.
I do hope they don't make me use that imitation flour again. I mean, with this war trouble, it may not be very charitable of me, but I've almost come to the conclusion that this Mr. Hitler isn't a Christian.
If only Europe were on another planet.
Europe!
Yes, Teddy.
Point your gun the other way!
Gun?
Teddy?
To the west! There's your enemy! There's the danger! Japan!
Why, yes.
Teddy, of course. Won't you have another cup of tea, dear?
No thanks, Aunt Abby.
Reverend Harper.
No, thank you. I must admit, Miss Abby, war and violence seem far removed from these surroundings.
Oh, it is peaceful here, isn't it?
Yes, peaceful. The virtues of another day. They're all here in this house. The gentle virtues that went out with candlelight, and good manners, and low taxes.
It's one of the oldest houses in Brooklyn, just as it was when Grandfather Brewster built it and furnished it. Well, except for the electricity, and used as little as possible. Mortimer's the one who persuaded us to put it in.
Yes, I can understand that. Your nephew, Mortimer, seems to live only by electric light.
Oh, but you can't blame him. Poor boy, he has to work so late. I understand he's taking Elaine with him to the theater again tonight. Teddy, your brother Mortimer will be here later.
Delight!
Well, it's a new experience for me to wait up until 3 o'clock in the morning for my daughter to be brought home.
Oh, we hope you don't disapprove of Mortimer.
Well,
Oh, we'd feel so guilty if you did, Martha and I. I mean, since it was here, in our home, that your daughter met Mortimer.
of course, Miss Abby. And so I'll say immediately that I believe Mortimer himself to be quite the worthy gentleman. But I must also admit that I have been watching your growing intimacy between him and my daughter with some trepidation. For what reason, Miss Abby?
Oh, you mean his stomach, Reverend Harper.
Stomach.
His dyspepsia. Oh, he's bothered with it so. Poor boy.
No, Miss Abby. I'll be frank with you. I'm speaking of your nephew's unfortunate connection with the theater.
The theater? Why? Mortimer writes for a New York newspaper.
Really?
Oh, yes. He hates the theater. Well, he writes awful things about it. Well, you can't blame him. Poor boy. He really did love writing about the real estate, which he knew something about. They made him take this terrible night position.
My.
Oh, but as he says, it can't last much longer anyway. Give it another year or 2, perhaps. Oh, who might that be? Teddy, dear, no, I'll get it. Oh, Officer Brophy, Officer Klein, how are you?
Hello, Miss Brewster.
What news have you brought me?
Colonel, we have nothing to report.
Splendid, officers. As you
You know Reverend Harper.
Sure. Hello, Reverend Harper. We've come for the toys for the Christmas fund.
Oh, yes. Oh, Teddy, go upstairs and get that big box of toys from Aunt Martha's room.
Yes, Aunt Abby.
Is Mr. Brophy well? Oh, Reverend Harper.
Charge!
Mr. Brophy's been very quite ill.
Pneumonia.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, he's better now. A little weak still.
Oh, let me get you some beef broth.
Don't bother, Miss Abby. You've done so much for him already.
Oh, Sister Martha made it this morning. It won't be a minute. Sit down. Be comfortable, all of you.
She shouldn't go to all that trouble. Listen, trying to stop her sister from doing something nice, and for nothing, they don't even care how you vote.
When I received my call to Brooklyn, my husband wasn't well. When he died, and 3 months before, well, if I know what pure kindness and absolute generosity are, it's because I've known the Brewster sisters.
Colonel, you promised not to do that.
But I must call a cabinet meeting to get the release of those supplies.
He used to do that in the middle of the night. The neighbors raised Cain with us. They're a little afraid of him anyways.
Oh, he's quite harmless.
Suppose he does think he's Teddy Roosevelt. There's a lot worse other people could think he was.
Darn shame. A nice family like this hatching a cuckoo.
Well, his father, the old girl's brother, was some sort of genius, wasn't he? And their father, Teddy's grandfather. Seems to me he was a little crazy, too.
Yeah, he was crazy, like a fox.
Made $1 million.
Really? Here in Brooklyn?
Yeah, patent medicine. He was a kind of a quack of some sort. Old Sergeant Edwards remembers him. He said he used the house here as a sort of a clinic. Tried him out on people.
Heard he used to make mistakes occasionally, too.
The department never bothered him much since he was pretty useful on autopsies sometimes, especially poison cases.
Well, whatever he did, he left his daughter 6 for life. Thank goodness for that.
Not that they ever spent any of it on themselves.
Yes, I'm well acquainted with their charities.
You don't know a tenth of it. I was with the Missing Persons Bureau looking for an old man who we never did find. Did you know that there's a renting agency that has his house down on just for furnished rooms? They don't rent rooms. But if you come here looking for one, you'll probably go away with a good meal, probably a few dollars in your pocket.
It's just their way of digging up people to do some good.
Oh, well now, isn't this nice?
Good afternoon, Miss Brewster.
How do you do, Officer Brophy? Reverend Harper, Officer Fly.
How are you, Miss Brewster? We dropped in to pick up the Christmas toys.
Oh yes, Teddy's Army and Navy. They wear out. They're all packed.
Don't bother. The colonel's upstairs after them. It seems the cabinet has to okay it.
Yes, of course. I hope Mr. Brophy's better.
Oh, he's doing fine, ma'am. Your sister's getting some soup for me to take to him.
Oh yes, we made it this morning. I just took some to a poor man who had ever so many bones.
Oh, Sister Martha. How is Dr. Huff?
Oh, well, dear, it's pretty serious, I'm afraid. The doctor was there. He's going to amputate in the morning.
Can we be present?
No, I asked him. He says it's against the rules of the hospital.
You couldn't be of any service, and you must spare yourself something.
Here's the beef from Officer Brophy. Make sure it's good and hot. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Teddy. Careful, dear.
This is fine, man. It'll make a lot of kids happy. That O'Malley boy is nuts about this old house.
What's this? General Miles, I retired him years ago. And this, the Oregon?
Oh, Teddy, dear, put it back.
But the Oregon goes to Australia?
Teddy.
No, I've given my word to Fighting Bob Evans.
Now, Teddy.
What matter what kid gets it? Izzy Cohen, Bobby Evans? We'll run along, man. Thank you very much.
Yes, goodbye.
I must be getting home.
Oh, before you go, Reverend Huff.
John! John, the blockhouse!
The blockhouse.
The stairs are always sand on hill.
Have you ever tried to persuade him that he wasn't Teddy Roosevelt?
Oh, no.
He's so happy being Teddy Roosevelt.
Once, a long time ago. Remember, Martha? We thought if he'd be George Washington, it might be changed for him.
But he's staying under his back for days and he wouldn't be anyone.
And we'd so much rather he be Mr. Roosevelt than nobody.
Well, if he's happy, and what's more important, you're happy. You'll see that he signs these.
What are they?
Well, Reverend Harper has arranged for Teddy to go to Happy Deal Sanitarium after we pass on.
Oh, but why should Teddy sign any of his now?
It's better to have it all settled. If the Lord should take you away suddenly, perhaps Teddy could present himself, and that would mean an unpleasant legal procedure. Mrs. Witherspoon understands them to be filed away until the time comes to use them.
Oh, Miss Witherspoon, who's she?
She's the superintendent of Happydale.
Oh, Reverend Harper has arranged for her to come tomorrow or the next day to meet Teddy.
I better be running along, or Elaine will be over
Yes.
here looking for me.
Oh, Reverend Harper, give our love to Elaine, and please don't think harshly of Mortimer because he's a dramatic critic. Somebody has to do things.
Did you have tea?
Yes,
Are you late?
yes, and dinner's going to be late too.
Oh, so what?
Teddy, you're going down to Panama to dig another lock for the canal.
That's bully, just bully. I shall prepare for the journey at once. Charge!
Oh, Abby, while I was out?
Yes, I just couldn't wait for you. And Reverend Harper was coming.
Oh, but all by yourself.
I got along fine.
I'll run downstairs and
No, there wasn't time, and I was all alone.
Well,
Oh, just look in the window, see, Martha.
oh, who must that be?
I'll see.
It's Elaine. Oh, Elaine.
Come in, dear.
Good morning, Miss Abby. Good morning, Miss Martha. I thought Mother was here.
Oh, she just this minute left. Did you meet her?
No, I took the shortcut through the cemetery. Mortimer? Yeah?
No, dear, not yet.
Oh, he asked me to meet him here. Do you mind if I wait?
Not at all.
Do sit down.
We really must speak to Mortimer about doing this here.
Doing what?
Well, he was brought up to know better. When a gentleman is taking a young lady out, he should go for her to her house.
Oh, there's something about calling for a girl at a parsonage that discourages any man who doesn't embroider.
Well, we're going to speak to him.
Oh,
Please don't.
please. Oh, please don't.
Don't. After young men whose idea of nightlife was to take me to prayer meeting, it's wonderful to go to the theater almost every night of my life.
It's comforting for us too, because if Mortimer has to see some of those plays he has to see,
At least he's sitting next to a minister's daughter.
What you must think of us complain, not having tea cleared away by now. Oh, dear.
Sorry, I'm a little bit slow.
Oh, yes.
Here, I can't bend down very well. Could you put that down there for me? Thanks. This one.
Slow it down, Lane.
Now, don't bother cleaning the kitchen until Mortimer comes and then I'll help you. Mortimer should be here any minute now. Yeah.
Mother was surprised not to find me at home. I better run over and speak to her. If Mortimer comes, I'll be right back. Hello, Mort.
Hello, Mortimer.
Hello, Aunt Martha.
Abby, Mortimer's here.
Hello, Elaine. You were going somewhere?
Just running over to tell Mom to wait up for me tonight.
I didn't know that was still being done, even in Brooklyn.
Oh, Mortimer.
Hello, Aunt Abby.
How are you, dear?
All right, and you look well. You haven't changed much since yesterday.
Yesterday. Well, we're seeing a great deal of you lately.
Oh, Abby, haven't we got something to do in the kitchen?
Huh?
You know, the tea
Oh,
things.
yes, the tea things. Well, you should just make yourselves at home.
Make yourselves at home.
Come on, Martha.
Well, can't you take a hint?
No, that was pretty obvious. A lack of inventiveness, I should say.
Yes, that's exactly what you'd say.
Say, where do you want to go for dinner?
I don't care. I'm not very hungry.
Suppose we wait until after the show?
But that'll make it pretty late, won't it?
Not with the little stinker we're seeing tonight. I heard we'll be at Blake's by 10 o'clock.
You ought to be fair to these plays.
Are these plays fair to me?
I've never seen you walk out on a musical.
Darling, that musical isn't opening tonight.
No?
You'll have to learn the rules with every musical. There are always 4 changes of title and 3 postponements. They liked it in New Haven, but it needs a lot of work.
Oh, I thought it was a musical.
You have such a light mind.
Not a bit. Musicals somehow have a humanizing effect on you. After a serious play, we join the proletariat on the subway and I listen to a lecture on the drama. After a musical, you bring me home in a taxi and you make a few passes.
Darling, that's a very inaccurate piece of reporting.
Oh, I will admit, after the Berman play, you told me an authentic beauty. That's a heck of a thing to say to a girl. It wasn't until after our first musical you told me I had nice legs. And I have, too.
I've never been able to rationalize it.
What?
My falling in love with a girl who lives in Brooklyn.
I'm falling in love. You're not stooping to the articulate, are you?
The only way I can regain my self-respect is to keep you in New York.
Did you say keep?
No, I've come to the conclusion that you're holding out from the Galaxies.
I can afford to be a good girl for quite a few years yet.
And I can't wait that long. Say, where can we be married? Tonight!
I'm afraid Mother will insist on officiating.
Oh, God, I bet your mother could even make the marriage service sound pedestrian.
Are you by any chance writing a review of it?
Forgive me, darling, it's an occupational disease. I may give that play tonight a good notice.
Now, darling, don't pretend you love me that much.
I'll telephone Winchell to publish the banns.
Nevertheless.
All right, everything formal and legal, but not later than next month.
Darling, I'll talk it over with Mother and set the date.
No, we'll have to see what's in the rehearsal. There will be a lot of first nights in October.
Hello, Mortimer.
Hello, Mr. President.
What news have you brought?
Just this, Mr. President. The country is squarely behind you.
I know. Isn't it wonderful? Well, goodbye. Goodbye.
Where are you off to, Teddy?
Panama!
He digs the locks of the canal down there.
You're so sweet with him, and he's very fond of you.
Well, Teddy was always my favorite brother.
Favorite? Were there more of you?
There's another brother, Jonathan.
I've never heard of him. Your aunts never mention him.
No, we don't like to talk about Jonathan. He left Brooklyn very early by request. Jonathan was the kind of boy who would cut worms in two with his teeth.
What became of him?
I don't know. He wanted to become a surgeon just like grandfather, but didn't want to take time to practice it. And he got in a lot of trouble.
Oh, aren't you two going to be late for the theater?
No, we're eating after the play.
Well, I'll leave you two alone together. Again.
Don't bother, darling. I'm going to run over to speak to Mother. Before I go out with you, she likes to pray over me a little.
And if we have time when you come back, I'd like to lead you beside distilled water.
Why, Mortimer, that's the first time I've ever heard you quote the Bible.
By the way, I'm going to marry her.
Oh, Mortimer! Martha, Martha, Martha! Mortimer's getting married to Elaine! Mortimer!
But Elaine was here to have this girl on, Cora.
Yes, you always knew she'd
Happy?
get on you.
Just look at her leaping over those gravestones. Say, what's that?
What's what, dear?
That thing. That's a Horundinita carnina.
Oh, no, dear. That's Emily's star descending to heaven.
No, standing on Miss Stout's left ear. That thing. That's a red-crested swallow. I've only seen one of those before in my life.
Well, how could you think about a bird right now? With engagement and everything.
It's a vanishing species. Thoreau was fond of them. Say, I left a large envelope around here last week. Do you happen to see it?
There must be something more you can tell us about Elaine.
Elaine? Oh, yes. Elaine thought it was brilliant. My chapter on Thoreau.
Well, when you get back, we'll have to celebrate your happiness.
Yes.
Oh, Martha, do we have any more of that Baltimore cake left? And I'll open a bottle of wine.
Oh, and the thing happened in this room.
Well, Mortimer, with your fiancé sitting beside you tonight, I do hope the play will be something you can enjoy for once. It may be something romantic. What's the name of it?
Murder will out.
Oh, dear!
When the curtain goes up, the first thing you'll see will be a dead body. Ah! 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 Tabby, come in here!
Yes, dear, what is it?
You made plans for Teddy to go to that sanitarium in Happydale.
Yes, Reverend Harper brought the papers earlier today. Here they are.
He's got to sign them right away.
Oh, that's what Reverend Harper thinks. Then there won't be any legal difficulties after we pass on.
Where is he? Oh, yeah, he's down in the cellar. Get him up here right away.
Oh, there's no such thing as that, dear.
Teddy's got to sign these documents now.
Well, when Teddy works on the canal, you can't get his mind on anything else.
Right away, I tell you, right away.
No.
There's no such need.
Here, darlings. I'm frightfully sorry, but, never mind. But we've all got to try and keep our heads. You know, we've sort of humored Teddy because we thought he was harmless.
Oh, why he was harmless, dear.
He was harmless. Why? He has to be confined.
Mortimer, how can you say such a thing?
I gotta tell you, sometime you might as well be now. Teddy's killed a man.
Nonsense, dear.
There's a body in the window seat.
Yes, dear, we know.
You know?
Yes, dear, but it has nothing to do with Teddy, trust me.
Well, who is he?
Well, his name's Hoskins, Adam Hoskins. That's really all I know about him. Oh, except for he's a Methodist.
Well, what's he doing in here? How did he get in this house?
Oh, he died.
Aunt Martha, men don't just get in the window seat and die.
Oh, no, he died first.
Well, how?
Well, he drank some wine with poison in it.
You put the poison in the wine?
Yes, and I put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat because Reverend Harper was coming. Yes.
So you knew what you'd done. You didn't want Reverend Harper to see the body in the window seat.
Well, not as he. That wouldn't have been very nice.
Oh, and don't you tell Elaine, dear.
Oh, Abby, while I was out, I dropped in on Mrs. Schultz. She's much better, but she would like us to take that little
Junior boy to the movies again.
Oh, we'll have to do that tomorrow or the next day.
Yes.
But this time, we'll go when we want to go.
Yes.
Junior sure wanted to drive me into another one of those scary pictures.
Hello? City desk? Transfer me to Al. Hello, Al. Do you know who this is? Yes. That's right. It's Mortimer Brewster. Say, when I left the office, I told you where I was going. Remember? Well, it would take me 30 minutes to get to Brooklyn and, well, I'll just call you right back. Aunt Tabby, Aunt Martha, what are we going to do? I mean, what are we going to do?
What goes on to know what, dear?
There's a body in there!
Yes, Mr. Hoskins.
Well, you can't just leave him in there.
Oh, we don't intend to, dear.
Well, where are you going to take him?
Well, Teddy's now down in the took now.
You're gonna bury Mr. Hopkins in the cellar?
Hoskins, dear.
Yes, dear, that's what we did with the others.
You can't bury me. Others? When you say others, do you mean more than one others?
Yes, our other gentlemen.
Let me see, dear. This is 11, isn't it?
No, Martha, this makes 12.
Oh, I think you're wrong, Abby. This is only 11.
No, because I remember when Mr. Hoskins first came in, it occurred to me we had an even dozen.
Well, you really shouldn't count the first one.
Oh, I was counting the first one.
Hello? Al? Well, I just wanted to tell you, I can't make that play tonight. No, Al, I'm sober as a lark. Well, I was just feeling a little Al, you wouldn't understand anyway. What I mean is I'm feeling a little bad. Yes. We gotta find someone in the office to cover that play tonight. Oh, whatever, Al. Now, let's see, where were we? 12!
Yes, dear. Abby thinks we ought to count the first one, and that makes 12.
All right, who was the first one?
Mr. Mitchley, he was a Baptist.
It was... Of course, I still think we can't claim full credit for him because he just died.
Martha names without any help from us. You see, Mr. Mitchley came here looking for a room.
It was right after we moved to New York.
Yes. Oh, and we didn't want that room going to waste. And his kid thinking we were all dead, and he was so forlorn and unhappy.
We felt so sorry for him.
And then, when his heart attack came, remember, Martha? We thought if we could help any other lonely gentleman, we would.
So, how did he die?
Well, when his heart attack came, he sat dead in that chair, looking so peaceful.
Oh, how awful for you. He dropped dead right in that chair.
Oh, no, dear. Not in the old times. You see, Grandfather always used to have a cadaver tree lying around the house. Teddy had been digging in Panama. He thought Mr. Midget would be able to be the victim.
Which meant he had to be buried immediately.
So, we all took him down to Panama and put him in the lot.
Yes, that's why we told you not to worry. Because we knew exactly what had to be done.
Well, certainly 12 gentlemen haven't come into this house and had a heart attack.
Oh, no. You know your Aunt Martha's not for mixing things. You've eaten nothing particularly.
Well, dear, for 1 gallon of elderberry wine, I take 1 teaspoon of arsenic, half teaspoon of strychnine, just a pinch of cyanide.
Should have quite a kid.
Yes. One of our gentlemen even found time to say how delicious.
Well, I better get things started in the kitchen.
Oh, won't you join us for dinner, dear?
I'm trying out a new recipe.
I couldn't eat a thing.
Oh, we'll leave you alone in your thoughts.
Oh, it's you.
Don't be cross, darling. Mother could see that I was excited, so I told her about us, and that made it hard for me to get away. But listen, darling, she's not going to wait up for me tonight.
Elaine, you've got to run on home tonight. I'll call you up tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
You know I always call you up every day or two.
But we're going to the theater tonight.
No, we're not.
But why not?
Something very important has come up.
Mortimer, you lost your job?
No. I'm just not covering that play tonight. George is.
Yeah. Well, certainly you can tell me what's happened.
No, darling, I can't.
But if we're going to be married...
Married?
You forget that not 15 minutes ago, you proposed to me.
Oh, I did? Yes, I did. And as far as I'm concerned, that's still on. But you just gotta run along home.
Listen, you can't propose to me 1 minute and throw me out of the house the next.
I'm not throwing you to the house, darling. Will you please leave?
No one won't get out of here, not till I've had some sort of explanation.
Elaine, the phone. Hello? Al? Yes, I know it's important, but can it wait a minute? All right. Elaine, you're a sweet girl, and I love you, but you just got to go home.
Don't try to be masterful.
You know, I hope when I have problems to face in the future, you're less tedious and uninspired.
And when we're married, if we're married, I hope I find you adequate.
Elaine! Elaine.
Oh, that's the doorbell, dear, not the telephone. Oh, come in.
I understand you have a room to rent.
Yes.
Are you the lady of the house?
Oh, I'm Miss Brewster, and this is my sister, another Miss Brewster.
My name is Gibbs.
Oh, do
May I see the room?
Why don't you sit down a minute? Let's get acquainted.
That won't do much good if I don't like the room.
Do you live in Brooklyn?
Haven't got a home. Live in a hotel. Don't like it.
Are your family Brooklyn people?
Haven't got a family.
Hello, Al? Mort. We got cut off.
What church do you go to? There's an Episcopal church practically next door.
Well, I'm Presbyterian. Well, used to be.
Oh, well, Martha, you've come to just the right place.
No, Al, I already told you I'm sober.
There's not always this much noise.
Oh, he doesn't live with us.
Oh, won't you try a glass of our wine before we start out?
Never touch it.
Oh, we make it ourselves. It's elderberry wine.
Elderberry wine. Haven't tasted that since I was a boy, thank you.
No, Al. I don't drink, but I'm gonna start now.
Do you serve meals?
Oh, we might, but first you have to try some of our wine.
Mortimer! Put that down! You're gonna get murdered! Go! My God, you're slower than a turtle! Get out!
Don't rush me!
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Mortimer, now you spoiled everything.
Not only is it against the law, it's not right.
Mortimer, we don't interfere in your hobbies, so I don't see why you should interfere in ours.
Well, all I'm gonna say is, this has developed into a very bad habit.
I think we shouldn't have told Mortimer.
No.
Hello? Yeah. Al? Fine, I'll do it. But I'm gonna pay him the heck out of it. Now call my lawyer and tell him to meet me at the theater. I love you, and I know you love me too. So I need you to promise me one thing before I go.
But we have to know what it was first, dear.
Don't do anything. I mean, don't do anything. Don't let anyone in this house. Don't bury Mr. Hotchkiss in the cellar. Don't do anything.
Well, why not?
Because I need time to think, and I've got quite a little to think about.
Well,
Don't do anything.
we were planning on holding services before dinner.
Services?
Certainly. You don't think we bury Mr. Hoskins, our full Methodist service, do you? Why, he was a Methodist.
Wait for the services till I get back.
Oh, then you can join us.
Yes, I will join you in the services.
Oh, you love the third services very much. Martha, remember when Mortimer used to sing so beautifully before his voice changed?
Anyway, I need paper to write on.
Oh, the stationery do.
Hard penalty.
Mortimer.
My head's spinning. Don't do anything. I'll save time if I write my review on the way.
Dear.
Mortimer didn't quite sing himself today.
I think I know why.
Why?
Well, he's just become engaged to get married. I suppose that always makes a man nervous.
Well, I'm so happy for Elaine. And their honeymoon ought to give more of a real vacation. I don't think he got much rest this summer.
Oh, at least he didn't go kind enough to China or Spain.
I could never understand why he wanted to go to those places.
Well, Mortimer, the theaters always seemed pretty small potatoes. But he needs something big to criticize, something like human race.
Oh, Abby, if Mortimer's coming back for the services from Mr. Hoskins, only another hymnal. There's one in my room.
Well, Martha, it really is my turn to read for the services, but I want you to do it. That's very nice of you, dear.
But are you sure you want me to?
Oh, it's only fair.
Well, I think I'll wear mine like bombazine and Mother's own robe.
Yes.
Abby, didn't you promise Mortimer we wouldn't let anyone in?
Who do you suppose it is?
I'll check. Oh, it's 2 lemons. I've never seen them.
Oh, let me see.
Do you recognize them?
They're strangers to me.
We'll just have to pretend you're not at home.
Come in, Doctor. This is the home of my youth. As a boy, I couldn't wait to escape from this place. Now, I'm glad to escape back into it.
A good hideout, Johnny.
The family must still live here. There's something so unmistakably Brewster about the Brewsters. I hope there's a fattened calf waiting for the return of their prodigal.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Look, Johnny, drinks.
Who are you?
Aunt Abby, Aunt Martha, it's Jonathan.
Oh, you're not Jonathan. You look nothing like Jonathan. So pretend you are.
I am Jonathan, your nephew, Jonathan.
Get out!
But I am your nephew, Jonathan. And this is Dr. Einstein.
Oh, and he's not Dr. Einstein either.
Not Dr. Albert Einstein, Dr. Herman Einstein.
Who are you?
Aunt Abby, I see you're still wearing that lovely garnet ring Grandma Brewster bought you in England. And you, Aunt Martha, still the high collar to hide the scar where grandfather's acid burned you?
Have you been in an accident?
No, my face. Dr. Einstein is responsible for that. He's a plastic surgeon. He changes people's faces.
Where have you been all these years?
Oh, England, South Africa, Australia. The last 5 years, Chicago. Dr. Einstein and I were in business there together.
Oh, we were in Chicago for the World's Fair.
Yes, we've been to Chicago a lot, believe it or not.
Yeah, I got helpers there too.
Well, it's wonderful to be back in Brooklyn. And you, Abby, Martha, you don't look a day older. Just as I remember you, sweet, charming, hospitable. And dear Teddy, did he get into politics? My little brother, Doctor, was determined to become president.
Oh, Teddy's fine. And Mortimer's well, too.
I know about Mortimer. I've seen his picture at the head of the column. He evidently fulfilled all the promise of his early nasty
Oh,
nature.
we're very fond of Mortimer.
We've seen that face before. Remember when we took that little Schultz boy to the movies and I was so frightened? It was that face.
Oh, well, I forgot. This coffee. Better not let the stove boil over.
Yes, if you'll excuse us for
Where's
a
Papa?
moment, then, unless you're in a hurry to
Papa,
go
that's not fair.
We're gonna act fast. The police have pictures of the face. I gotta operate you right away. And also, they gotta find a place for Mr. Spinoza too.
Don't waste any worry on that rat.
Well, you can't just leave a dead body in a rubble heap.
Forget Mr. Spinoza.
But Johnny, he was a nice and kind guy. He gave us a lift. And now what?
He said I looked like Boris Karloff. That's your word, Doctor. You did that to me.
Jonathan, we're glad you came and said hello. But you were never happy in this home, and we were never happy while you were in it. So we've come to say goodbye.
Aunt Abby,
I can't see your feeling towards me comes as a surprise. I spent a great many hours regretting the many heartaches I must have given you as a boy.
You were quite a trial to us, Jonathan.
But my great disappointment is for Dr. Einstein. I promised him that no matter how rushed we were in passing for business, I'd take the time to bring him here for one of Aunt Martha's home-cooked dinners.
Oh,
Oh, I'm afraid there wouldn't be none.
Abby, it's a pretty good sized pot roast.
Pot roast?
I think the least we can do is.
Thank you, Aunt Martha. We'll stay to dinner.
Well, we'd better hurry along. Jonathan, if you want to freshen up, you can use the washroom in your grandfather's old lavatory.
Is that still there?
Yes, just as he left it. Well, goodbye.
What kind of meal anyway?
Just as you left it. A perfect operating room, Doctor.
Too bad we can't use it.
Why, after you're finished with me, we can make a fortune here. The laboratory, the large ward in the attic, 10 beds, Doctor, and Brooklyn is crying for your talents.
But Johnny, I think we're a year too late.
You don't know this town, Doctor. Practically everybody in Brooklyn needs a new face.
But so many of the old faces are locked up.
A very small percentage, and the boys in Brooklyn are famous for paying generously to get out of jail.
Now, Johnny, what do we do for Mr. Spinoza?
Don't worry about that right now. We'll be invited.
But if we don't,
We'll be invited.
I can go back tonight.
Doctor, wait. We'll be invited.
But you just said that.
Doctor, 2 helpless old women.
True. It's like a dream comes true. I just hope that you're not dreaming.
That's what makes this house so perfect for us. It's so peaceful.